Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today it's time for one of my favourite videos of the month. It's the Indie Author Showcase. I've got a bunch of authors just waiting to talk to you about their books, so let's roll the tape.
Hi, my name's Ed Greaves. I'm the author of Daughter of the Beast, which, given how slack I am, may or may not actually still be in SPF 9 by the time you watch this. It's a dark fantasy coming-of-age tale set in a Slavic folklore-inspired setting, which follows a little Kikimora girl who's captured by monstrous dog people called the Volkari. Through the power of Stockholm Syndrome, I guess, she aspires to be like them. So it's a sort of story about finding her identity, her place in the world, especially given that she's come from captivity and aspires to be like her captors. It's written in a way that's been described as grimdark, because the world and the setting kind of sucks. You wouldn't want to live there, but the characters all have that sort of Mad Max insanity to them. There's a little humor throughout, a tiny touch of romance, but no love triangles, sorry. And it's generally kind of fun. So it's the first in a trilogy which is completed. There's Daughter of the Beast, Sister of the Dead, and Mother of the Bond, which follow our protagonist Zintail as she grows from being a little kid through to young adulthood, and her journey from slave to not really a slaver, a villain, maybe a villain, I don't know. It's all perspective really, isn't it? Anyway, it's available from Kindle at the moment, Amazon in general, potentially wide later on, or you can reach out to me at GreavesEC on Twitter or at my website ecgreaves.com. I probably should make those match, but and yeah, if you want to get in touch to grab a copy or, you know, a review copy, whatever, if you want to buy it, it'll be great. This phone is crap, and I clearly need a new one. So yeah, thank you very much for checking it out and listening to me ramble on. Cheers.
Greetings, everybody. It's your friendly neighborhood author man, Michel, presenting to you my book, my debut novel, The Price of Power. This is book one of a planned 5-book series. They are chonkers, so readers who love that, rejoice. And the series is called The Price of Power as well. So I wrote this. I think it's good. I hope you do too. This book is about redemption, loss, grief, and the dangers of belief. And those themes are pretty heavy, and the book itself can have some heavy content. It is grim darkish. A lot of people like to say it's grim dark, which, if you're not familiar, that means that it has a lot of gritty realism. It's got punchy language, violent action scenes, gray morality all throughout. The most comparable titles that you've probably heard of are Game of Thrones, but with some X-Men, that's my version, and Joe Abercrombie. In fact, people love to compare it to Abercrombie, and I quote, "the closest thing to Abercrombie I've ever read." I hear that, I've heard that more than a few times. So if you like Abercrombie, if you like Game of Thrones, if you love that kind of slow burn, character-driven narrative, then where bad things can happen to the people you love, then this is probably a book that you will find some enjoyment in. It was the Grim Dark Fiction Readers and Writers Facebook group Book of the Month. Yeah, so there you go. There's my book. It's currently an SPF 9 contestant. And hopefully by the time this comes out, I'm still in it. There is a prequel called War Song, very short little novella, set about 75 years before The Price of Power. And you can actually get that for free if you go ahead and sign up for my newsletter. I try to keep those pretty fun and offer a lot of free books from other authors through my newsletter. So, you know, if you don't like it, might be cool to stay on there anyway. But that said, highly recommend this book.
Hey everyone, I'm Zachary Forbes.
And I'm Joshua Forbes.
And we're the authors of Three Rivers Plague, the first book in the Continuum series. Tell me, would you sacrifice your own safety for a chance of saving your friend from infection? That's the exact dilemma that Thomas Wilde is faced with in our story. After witnessing a bioweapon unleashed at his hometown concert in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Thomas and his band are taken to a shelter with other important people, like the Pennsylvania governor. He quickly realizes that one of his bandmates has been infected by the bioweapon, and the governor gives him an ultimatum. His friend can either be killed, or Thomas can abandon shelter in search of a facility that might be harboring a cure. Along the way, Thomas is going to have to face his own addictions, his own faults, and he'll find out the world is a lot different than he last saw it.
This book is broken up into 9 episodes. Each one has just a small arc of this great story we've concocted. See, there's music references, themes of addiction, and an overarching conflict about how humanity will deal with the chaos. Some will grab for power, some will turn to their vices, but somebody just might be finding relief in all the collapse. It's up to Thomas to find his place among these corners of the human experience.
We blended up a bunch of genres together in this book. It's sci-fi with horror elements, a little bit of romance, detective thriller, and even some noir thrown in the mix. We love all these genres. We read from them all the time, self-published and traditional. And we hope you enjoy this book just as much as we do. We've got it on Amazon now, ebook, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. So check it out. Thanks.
Happy reading.
Hi folks, I am Jay Tallsquall, and I am here today to chat with you about my debut novel, Legacy of the Vermilion Blade. It is book 1 in my series known as A Time of Falcons and Roses, and it is a high fantasy, single point of view, really character-driven story that focuses on the life of Talon Corvermain. This book spans about 50 years, and it follows Talon through his whole life, all the way up to the end of this first installment of the series. The main focus of this book is really on the people that come in and out of Talon's life, his relationship with him, and really how they change the person that he is, from his first love, through his mentors, to the found family that he meets along the way. Being an older author myself, and new author, this story is really personal for me, not only because of sort of the journeys that I've had in my life, but also because the main character, like me, is asexual, which we have not seen a lot of in the fantasy genre or any sort of fiction genres until just recently. So one of the main reasons that I wanted to tell this story was to bring some visibility to just the incredible wide spectrum of asexual and queer platonic relationships that exist out there. So many folks have no exposure or really knowledge of this sort of part of the queer spectrum, and I really wanted to give a easy access point for people to understand more about asexuality and the ace community than just, oh, you're an android or a robot and have no feelings, etc. Especially when it comes to love and romance that does not have a sexual component to it. So this book became a real labor of love for me as I talked about myself to other people and realized so many people didn't understand about asexuality and the asexual spectrum. I also happen to love fantasy and storytelling and world building. And so this just is sort of the outgrowth of all that. First and foremost, it is a fantasy novel. It is an adventure that spans a whole continent of world that I've built and actually run in my D&D games before. So there's a lot of depth to the lore and the history and all of the pantheon, etc., and some of the cities that we visit along the way. So if you are interested in just a good old-fashioned character-driven high fantasy story, or if you happen to be looking for some ace relationship, Legacy of the Vermilion Blade is for you. I hope you pick it up and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Have a great one. Bye.
Thank you so much to all of the authors who've taken the time out of their busy schedules to film a clip for inclusion in this video. If you want to join this series and appear in a future one of these videos, do check out the showcase page on my website, dominishbooks.com. I'll leave a link down below as well, and you'll find all the information there to get a clip over to me. Also below this video, as usual, you'll find links to all of the authors who you've seen in today's showcase. Do go and check them out in more detail. For today, that's everything, so thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you in the next video sometime soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, read some good books. Bye for now.